My first recollection was I spent a lot of time at my grandparents' house, which that house was 1880s. So that's where I actually lived the first couple years of my life. We played a lot in the hills and in the grass and on the creek, and there wasn't traffic everywhere. And in my case, I did a lot of activities with my grandparents because they were here and active, and a lot of things that happened in Citrus Heights when I was a child. I mean, it was going from farmland to becoming developed. So the first Bel Air supermarket went in, the hospital was built. That was, our first hospital was Mercy San Juan. So there's a lot of different things that happened later in the early 60s to 70s that I was, a part of. So I don't know if any one thing, there was all those things. I mean, the mall was a big deal. I was a teenager, so. Yeah. My grandfather, they farmed, but that was not their living. Yeah. He worked for a bank, and my father, he did a little dairy farming when I was very young, like under 3. But then he worked for the state, and he was a lobbyist for the Department of Agriculture. So we weren't farming then. We just had a lot of land, and they would rent out the land for hay and alfalfa. So many years, like at the Van Ranch, we had a horse, a few cows, but not really by the time I came along, just dogs and, and my family was Van Maren and O'Donohue, so O'Donohue's owned a lot of the property all the way to the mall, and then the Van Marens owned significant property from Dewey all the way to the other side of Auburn to Sylvan Corners. Now I own Alphabet Ranch Childcare Center. So my parents started that bought it in 1981, and it's off of Garfield and Greenback. So I really liked it back then, but it's progress, and it changes.